Please help me welcome the incomparable Edward Hirsch.
So glad to be with you. Listening to Emily and Jennifer, I had a moment where I actually felt so good about myself. It passed rapidly. I couldn't hold on to it. I'd really like to meet that guy. He sounds like I know better, though. I know better. Anyway, wonderful reading. Emily's poems they're so unlikely, really. I've always admired this about them. They start in such odd ways. You think you don't really need a poem like that, and then when you're done reading it, you think you couldn't live without it. They have a kind of inevitability about them, and really, I think, a deep, humane compassion. So, when Jennifer wanted me to read, and she asked who I wanted to read with most, I said it was Emily. That because she said, well, one thing about the reading is you'll come on the train, you'll pay for yourself. You'll lose money. Really, it's a great reading. It's a great reading series. You'll pay us, but really, it'll be good. That's how I feel. Absolutely, she's right. I'm going to begin with a poem called To Poetry. I don't know if you ever saw the movie The Lost Weekend. It's about an alcoholic writer who doesn't write. That's where this starts. To Poetry. Don't desert me just because I stayed up last night watching The Lost Weekend. I know I've spent too much time praising your naked body to strangers and gossiping about lovers you betrayed. I've stalked you in foreign cities and followed your far-flung movements, pretending I could describe you. Forgive me for getting jacked on coffee and obsessing over your features year after jittery year. I'm sorry for handing you a line and typing you on a screen, but don't let me suffer in silence. Does anyone still invoke the muse, string a wooden lyre for Apollo, or try to saddle up Pegasus? Winged horse, heavenly god or goddess, indifferent entity, secret code, stored magic, pleasance and half wonder. Hell, I've loved you my entire life without even knowing what you are or how. Please help me to find you. This is called Black Rhinoceros. The black rhinoceros at Brookfield Zoo, eating sweet potatoes, carrots, and bread, looked like my uncle's extended family crowding around the table at Thanksgiving. Mrs. Mulvihill suddenly started crying on the second grade bus, which often stalled. And the next day we had a substitute teacher who said that rhinos have poor eyesight and swivel their tube-shaped ears in all directions so they can hear their enemies approaching, lions and people who carve their horns into daggers or mash them into pain relievers. My parents bought my shoes on discount at Walensky and Levy, and so whenever I raised either foot, my soul said, damaged. That's why I kept my feet close to the floor. When Mrs. Mulvihill returned, she wore dark dresses and told us that the black rhinoceros is the same muddy color as the white rhinoceros, which is strange if you think about it. And we did. What does it feel like to have two horns tilting up on a huge head, Mr. Rhinoceros? You lumber around in your skin of armor like an exiled general or a grounded unicorn. Everyone knows that a pachyderm in peril would still rather live in the open savanna. We can't tell if you're trumpeting forward or backward in your scrubby house.